Are you missing out on 2/3 of a muscle contraction whenever you work out like most people do? We're busting out, that's right, the lab coat and the fancy scientific graphs to make sure you don't. What's going on, everybody? It's Marv, onerepatatime.net, brand new video, and yes, we're going to be busting out my favorite graphic visual representation of a muscle contraction, which shows the 3 parts of the muscle contraction, which we're going to break down, as well as show you where our strong points and our weak points are of each and every muscle contraction. But before we get started, are you noticing anything different in this video? Are you? I think our lighting is getting a little bit better. So, like we said from day one, I know visually, graphically, whatever you want to call it, we're not going to be on par with mainstream, fitness or recovery YouTube channels. But our information, though, I put up against anybody in the world. But what I'm doing is I am figuring out as I go. I am not waiting till everything is perfect, because by nature, when left to my own devices, I'm a procrastinating perfectionist, which makes life very difficult, okay? And so I would want to wait till everything is perfect. I have the top-notch equipment, the top-notch understanding of how to edit videos, the top-notch understanding of how to use these lighting umbrellas that I'm using for the first time ever, which our lighting is going to get better and better the more and more I work with them. I'm not waiting for that. I'm not going to play the what-if game. I am taking a chance. I'm taking my swing right now with 1 rep at a time, which is why I quit my job 18 months ago to pursue this. And so we're slowly getting better, and we're going to keep these videos up so a couple years from now we can laugh about how rudimentary and how basic our setup was, or my unlimited understanding of video editing and stuff like that. So it's all part of the process, right? It's progress, not perfection, and I'm very, very proud and very, very excited of how far we've come, because I'm figuring it all out on my own, okay? I shunned social media for years and years. I shunned everything technologically advanced. All I focused on was nutrition, working out, supplementation, way too far, which now helps me more today to not be such an extremist with supplements, because I fell for all the tricks. And today, now I can blend it all together. So, back to the point of the video, muscle contraction, okay? There are 3 parts of a muscle contraction. Most people only do 1 part of those. So they're missing out on 2/3 of a muscle contraction, and arguably the most important 1/3. So, let's break it down. We're gonna use dumbbell curls. I'm just gonna curl my arm as an example. So this right here, the contraction part, where we're contracting and shortening the muscle fibers, is called the positive portion of the rep, which is this part right here. I'm going to explain this graph in a second, okay? So this is known as the positive contraction, or the concentric contraction, okay? When our muscle fibers are no longer lengthening or shortening, they're holding steady at the same length. We're contracting them, though, and the weight's staying the same. It's not moving. That's known as the isometric part of the rep, or the contraction, which is this part right here in the center of the graph. And as we are lowering the weight, our muscle fibers are lengthening, okay? This is known as the negative portion of the rep. So I'm lowering. So here's positive up, isometric hold. Negative or eccentric is the lowering portion of the rep. So there's 3 parts of a rep, but most people only do the positive. Most people only look something like this. Now, I know that's kind of extreme, that knucklehead reading a book, that silly, goofy dude, just boom, boom, boom. But we're going to show a point, right? You look around at a gym, and how often you see people working out that way? Hell, you might even be working out that way. And there's no shame in that. It's progress, not perfection. Everything we do is a skill. You might not know any better, but now we're going to teach you. So here is my favorite visual way to demonstrate the strength that we have in the various portions of the rep. And if you've ever been a kinesiology major or taken an exercise physiology class, I'm sure you recognize this. And I'm also sure you realize that we simplified the axis labels just to help it be more self-explanatory to folks, simple it out. So let's talk about this line right here, this axis. This is a contraction axis, okay? Here's the positive, here's the negative. So up here is the positive portion of the rep. The center right there is the isometric, the holding. And the negative is the lowering portion, okay? Now this other axis, if you notice, says strength. And this is positive and negative as well. So what does that mean? That means on the positive portion of a contraction, we are weakest. And does that not make sense? Think about it. When we're doing curls, we're gonna stick with curls for the example for the whole video. We never fail at just holding the weights at the top. We never fail lowering the weights. We always fail trying to curl the weight up. We are weakest in the positive portion of the rep, okay? The center line where it intersects both axes is the isometric contraction. So what does that mean? It means we are stronger than the positive portion of the rep, just holding that muscle, contracting our muscle fibers. You know, the rep ain't moving anywhere, but we're squeezing it, and we're not letting the weight come down. That's our middle of the row strength. And then that also means, because strength is positive on this side, that we are strongest in the negative portion of the rep. If you're only doing boom, 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 1 second up, 1 second down, 1 second up, 1 second down, like that knucklehead, that ding-dong reading his book, you're missing out on 2/3 of the rep, and you're missing out on the 1/3 that you are strongest at. Not only that, on the negative portion of the rep or the contraction, the eccentric, when we are lowering the weight, that is when we're creating all the tissue damage. That is the whole goal of resistance training. The whole goal of you working out in the gym, or your living room, or the hotel room, or your garage gym where you train people out of in San Diego, California, wink, wink. You're missing out on massive gains, bro. Sun's out, guns out. You're gonna be wearing sweaters in the middle of July. That's a bad joke, because that's a really bad joke, because we're not about body shaming, but it's just to make a point. If you're only doing 1 second up, 1 second down, 1 second up, 1 second down, you're missing out on the part you're strongest at, and you're missing out the part where you're creating the most tissue damage, which is the whole goal of resistance training. To break down tissue, that when your body repairs it, you come back bigger, faster, stronger. So, what does all this mean? This means that moving forward, what I suggest is you play with your rep tempo to take into account the isometric portion of the rep and the negative portion of the rep. So instead of 1 second up, 1 second down, 1 second up, 1 second down, which before I even get into the rep tempo, think about it. You're relying on momentum, which is an outside force, to do a lot of the work. You're relying on the elastic energy of your muscles and your ligaments and your tendons to do a lot of the work. That doesn't sound good, right? Like, think about it. Momentum, outside force. How are you going to replicate the same amount of momentum rep to rep, set to set, workout to workout? And not only that, if you're relying on the elastic energy of your ligaments and your muscles, odds of injury are going to go up. So we're going to keep you working out safer, more effectively, more efficiently, and taking advantage of the fact that there's 3 parts of a contraction and we want all 3. So with rep tempo, you can still do 1 second up, nice and explosive, I'm good with that. But now, isometrically squeeze as hard as you possibly can for 2 seconds at the top, then take 3 seconds to lower the weight. I guarantee you will not be as heavy as a weight or as many reps, but you're gonna feel it more, because I don't care about the quantity of the weight that you're lifting. Okay, we all want an ego lift. Ego lifting doesn't get you anywhere, okay? What we care about is the quality of the contraction, the quality of the tension your muscles are having to overcome. So if we're only doing this positive portion, only the positive portion, we're neglecting that, we're not getting that quality of contraction, that quality of tension. But now if you take all 3 into account, you bet your ass, you're gonna feel it more, you're gonna get better results, and you're gonna be safer, believe it or not. So, now you understand how muscle contraction works, the 3 parts of it, and how to mess with rep tempo to do it. I want you to give it a shot. So if you like this video, if you like the new lighting, if you like my lab coat, that literally is my lab coat. If you learned anything new, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. We're getting better and better, as you can tell, or hopefully. Comment below. Let us know what we can do better. And remember, everything is a skill. It's progress, not perfection. We can do anything we want. 1 day at a time, 1 meal at a time, 1 set at a time, 1 rep at a time. This is Marv, onerepatatime.net. Check it out. I'm out. See you guys soon.